Good day, everyone. Today, we will be discussing policies in physical therapy administration. At first glance, this topic may seem very administrative or very boring. Kasi hindi siya clinical topic unlike the other subjects that you have. But some of you might be thinking, Doc, mas importante yung evaluation techniques or treatment intervention topics natin, right? But guys, the reality po in clinical practice, okay, based then on my experience, that even if you are highly skilled in manual therapy, okay, exercise prescription, or patient assessment, if the system that you are working in has no clear policies, everything becomes disorganized. So let me give you an example. Imagine this scenario, ha? A patient walks into your clinic, okay? The clinic has no clear policy on the referral system or policy. That clinic also doesn't have a scheduling system. And also, walang documentation protocol. So most likely, what will happen? Those patients coming in might receive inconsistent care. At some point, they may skip proper evaluation kasi wala ngang policy for evaluation, for example. And if documentation is wala ring protocol for that, then it may be incomplete. And in the future, you may face legal issues. Okay? So policies are not just rules. They are actually, number one, your protection as a physical therapist. Okay? Number two, that will be your guide in your clinical decision making. And number three, this will be the structure that ensures quality of care is given to your patient. Also, think long term. Okay? Some of you kasi will become clinical supervisors, department heads, or pwede kayo magkaroon ng sarili niyong clinics. Okay? And when that time comes, you will not just treat patients. Okay? You will also manage a system. So today, I want you to shift your mindset that policies are not administrative function lang. Hindi lang ito pang admin people or administrative personnel lang. These are part of clinical competence which a skilled physical therapist should possess. Our learning objectives for today are 1. To define and differentiate policies versus procedures. Explain their role in safe and effective care. Identify common PT administrative policies, and understand the role of PT managers. But I want to emphasize something very important, okay? I don't want you to memorize definitions. Instead, I want you to always think, how will I apply this when I am already working? So for example, when you hear policy, you should think, what rules govern my action? When procedures, I think of it as what are the exact steps that I will follow. Okay? So for example, you're assigned in a hospital department and then a patient comes in, for example, without a referral paper. Okay? So the question is, will you treat? Will you treat the patient? Okay? Your answer should not be based on an opinion, but it should be based on the clinic policy. Diba? In real-life PT situations and based on our physical therapy law, we should not treat the patient because we are governed by RA 5680 that we should treat patients only with referral from a physician. So from now on, always connect the concepts to real-life PT situations and also clinical decision makings in the future. Policies and procedures are essential in any healthcare system, especially po sa physical therapy. Bakit? Because physical therapy is not just about exercise. It also involves, number one, patient safety, clinical decision making, documentation, and interprofessional collaboration. So if there is no structured policy, the care that you will be giving to your patient may become inconsistent. So let's say there are two physical therapists who treats the same condition. But let's say that there is no standard policies that exists on the place that you're working in. So what will be the possible outcome? Okay? There may be different treatment approaches, different documentation style, different patient outcomes, and that would be a problem. Okay? Kasi paiba-iba, walang consistency, walang standardization. Okay? So, kaya policies and procedures will ensure there is consistency, there is standardization again, and there is quality of care. Okay? In physical therapy, this is a critical aspect because even small errors can affect the recovery of your patient. Okay? So, for example, may dumating na patient, hindi mo tinanong yung kanyang identification. Upon entering the clinic, sabi mo, sige po, diretso po kayo sa treatment room number 1. Okay? So, most likely, ano nangyari? Hindi mo in-identify yung patient, tapos wrong patient pala yun. Okay? Tapos hindi mo pa din-document, then you will be mamimiss mo yung progress, yung pag-track ng progress ng patient. Okay? Maling patient yung na-treat mo, maling procedure yung nagawa mo. Okay? So, policies are not just organizational. Okay? They are also patient safety tools, and again, this will be your protection. Okay? Kaya, policies, again, provides consistency and the procedures. Ito yung magbibigay sa atin ng step-by-step processes or yung mga things that we need to execute. Okay? So, let's start with policy. A policy defines what should be done. Okay? It will serve as a rule, a guideline, and also a boundary. So, we have to think of policy as a law. Okay? This is a law inside the clinic. So, it will not tell you the step-by-step actions or yung workflow mismo kasi procedure yon. Instead, it answers what is expected. Okay? So, example in physical therapy, merong policy yung clinic that all patients must have a physician referral before treatment. Now, why is this important? Okay? It is important because it ensures legal compliance. And at the same time, it protects the physical therapist. Diba? Also, it ensures that proper diagnosis is given before a physical therapy intervention is given. Okay? Another example. Okay? For example, all treatment sessions must be documented immediately after care is provided. Why? It ensures continuity of care. Okay? It protects against legal issues, and also it supports communication among other healthcare team. Okay? Hindi mo pwedeng kalimutan ng documentation or hindi gawin ng documentation kasi this will serve as a communication channel for other healthcare members who would be reading your notes. Okay? So remember that policy gives direction kasi it will always tell you what is allowed or what is required. Now, let's move on to procedure. Okay? If earlier we said that policy defines what should be done, then procedures define how it is done. Okay? So always think of this way. Policy is the rule, the law. While the procedure, these are the actions or the steps that it tells you exactly what to do, in what order, and how to do it correctly. Okay? So why are these important also? Because these procedures will ensure, again, consistency, safety, and efficiency. Okay? Sa physical therapy, hindi po kasi pwedeng hula-hula lang. Okay? Hindi, kailangan dito ng proseso. Okay? Kahit gaano ka kagaling, if wala kang sinusunod na procedure, most likely the care or the quality of care that you provide to your patients would be inconsistent. Okay? So, kanina example natin, di ba, meron tayong policy for patient referral. Ano nga yun? All patients must have a valid referral from a physician before initiating treatment. So, how do we implement that? Doon papasok si procedure. So, example, ano yung procedure natin for receiving patient? Number 1, tanggapin natin ang referral form na dala-dala ni patient. Number 2, syempre, i-check natin yung completeness ng referral form. Meron bang doctor's name? Meron bang diagnosis? And meron bang signature ng ating doktor? Third, you have to check or to verify if the referral form is really valid. Yung date of referral, kailan ba? Baka naman last year pa ito. Yung institution or yung name of the clinic or the hospital, existing ba talaga or non-existing? Okay? Then, once you verify that the referral form is valid naman, susunod niyan, ilalog mo na yung information ni patient sa system nyo. For example, you have an electronic health records. Okay? I-input mo na siya doon. Then, after inputting the information of the patient, you will now schedule an initial evaluation. Okay? And, of course, sino yung available PT for treatment. Diba? So, there's a step-by-step process. Okay? Imagine niyo if walang procedure. Tatanggapin mo kahit incomplete yung referral. Mayroong isang staff mo, hindi tatanggapin kasi ayaw nila ng walang referral. Yung isa naman, makakalimutang mag-log in ng information ng patient. Kumbaga, inconsistent yung organization nyo or yung system na ginagalawan mo. Okay? So, kumbaga, magulo, mahirap yung ganoon na walang sistema. Okay? At the same time pa, since we are dealing with lives of humans, possible may mga legal issues na dadating dyan. And we need proof. We need system and procedures that we follow talaga, okay, na pwede nilang tingnan in the future kung talagang sinusunod natin. And these procedures also provides that our quality of care is really good. Okay? At the same time, it provides safety, diba, for our patient. So, for example, merong isang order ang doctor to transfer the patient from wheelchair to bed. Okay? So, tinuturo natin yan. May step-by-step procedure on how to properly transfer a patient from the wheelchair to bed. Kasi kung hindi mo susundin yung step-by-step procedure for that, yung PT magsasuffer sa improper body mechanics. sasakit ang likod mo. Okay? Or, pwedeng yung patient ang masaktan. Diba? Pwede kayong mahulog kung hindi mo susundin ang tamang procedure for that. Okay? So, the procedures will provide us repeatable step-by-step procedures, reliable, and also safe. Kaya dapat, the hospitals, sa clinics, mapapansin niyo talaga na mayroong mga standard procedures and protocols, may checklists, and step-by-step guidelines kasi this will provide consistency and quality of care to our patients. So why are policies and procedures important in PT? Okay, because these policies and procedures will provide safe, efficient, and legal practice. Okay? So for patient safety, kailangan meron tayong proper transfer techniques and infection protocol. Kasi kung wala ito, most likely there will be a risk of injury. For quality of care, dapat yung interventions or yung procedures na ginagawa natin, standardized, hindi pa bago-bago. Okay? At the same time, documentation should be consistent. Hindi pwede kung kailan mo lang matripan na magsulat ng documentation mo, then dun lang. Hindi pwedeng ganun. Okay? And legal protection, kasi again, if something goes wrong, okay, your policies will show if you really followed the standard protocols. Diba? At the same time, efficiency, okay, para mas mabilis yung working process, yung workflow, wala masyadong inconsistency, less yung confusion, then most likely, we will become efficient. Okay? So, even skilled PTs po can deliver inconsistent care kung hindi po sumusunod talaga sa sistema. Okay? Kaya, skills alone is not enough. Kailangan talaga ng structure. Okay? Tried and tested na yan. Okay? So again, without policies, most likely there will be chaos in the system. So now let's talk about the role of policies and procedures in physical therapy administration. At this point, you already understand what policies and procedures are, but the bigger question is, why are they important in managing a PT service? Because again, in real-life practice, physical therapy is not just about treating patients. It is also about managing people, systems, and also resources. In the management of staff and resources, the policies helps in managing yung ating mga PTs, the PT aides, and also the interns. The equipments, and also yung time and scheduling natin. Diba? So, for example, meron tayong policy for staff scheduling. So, si PT, duty ng ganitong araw from Monday to, sabi natin Thursday, day off siya ng ganitong araw. Okay, si PT number 2, duty naman siya from Tuesday to Friday with ito yung day off niya. If wala yung mga ganong policies, ma-overload po at mababurn out ang ating mga staff members. Okay? Another example, sa equipments naman. Paggamit ng isang high-end na machine. Okay? Sino ang pwedeng gumamit nito? Yung mga licensed PTs lang ba? Yung mga aides, pwede ba silang gumamit? Mga volunteer, mga PT interns. Okay? What if it is not used properly? Okay? What if yung mga resources, yung mga ultrasound gel, yung mga creams na ginagamit for those machines are wasted kasi hindi tama yung paggamit. So, magiging inefficient yung sistema ninyo. Okay? At the same time, pwedeng masira din yung mga equipments. Okay? Kaya dapat, there are policies. Sino yung pwede mag-handle ng mga ganitong type of equipments? Okay? Sino yung magme-maintain? Sino yung pwedeng mag-aftercare dito? Okay? Next is coordination of patient care services. Policies will ensure that we have a smooth patient flow. It will start from admission to evaluation, followed by treatment. Then after treatment, everything will be documented, written in their PT notes. Then once treatment is done, na-satisfy na niya or nagkaroon na siya ng improvement, then proper documentation then prior to discharge and upon discharge will be needed. So everything is guided by policies and procedures. Okay? So if wala tayong coordination, pwedeng paulit-ulit yung initial evaluation. Okay? Kunyari, si patient Pau, dumating ng Monday, ni-receive siya ni patient Francis. So, tinreat siya, in-evaluate siya. Then, si patient Pau, dumating ulit ng Wednesday, absent si Francis, dumating si Hannah. Tinreat ni Hannah. Nag-evaluate ulit siya. Okay? So, without proper endorsement, without proper documentation, nauulit yung mga processes wherein sayang. Diba? Sayang yung oras na sana, tinreat mo na lang dahil na-evaluate na pala siya prior. Okay? Na-delay pa yung treatment niya ng ilang oras. Okay? Then, there is also miscommunication between PTs or other staffs also. Okay? Kaya we have to have clear policies kasi every step, again, is organized and at the same time, every staff will know their role. Third is compliance with institutional and legal requirements. So, this is very important kasi the policies ensure that the institution follows the rules, okay, the professional standards, and also the legal requirements. Diba? So, we have a policy on documentation na sinabi natin kanina. Okay? This is talaga isa sa mga legal documents na dapat natin ginagawa. Kasi kung hindi, in the future, na may magreklamo sa na-patient, meron kayong backup. Okay? May document kayo na, ito po yung services na ginawa natin on that day, ni-record ko naman po on my PT notes. Okay? So, kumbaga, meron kang proof. Also, meron tayong policy na hihingi tayo ng consent form sa ating mga patients. Okay? Aside from verbal consent, di ba, meron tayong pinapractice na our treatment, ma'am, will involve manual techniques. So, may I touch you? May I touch the certain area that we will be treated? So, syempre, the patient must agree before the treatment. Okay? So, without this, the clinic and you also as a PT, you can face legal problems kung wala itong mga ito. Okay? So, take note that these policies will act as legal protection. And lastly, is achievement of organizational goals. So, syempre, every clinic has a goal. So, syempre, andyan si improve patient outcomes. We want to increase the efficiency of the work of our staffs. And also, enhance patient satisfaction. Diba? So, with policies, para consistent, okay, na nagagawa natin yung standard protocols and procedures within the institution, we will be able to achieve our goals. Okay, so for example, one goal natin is to reduce the patient waiting time. So, ang policy natin for that, dapat mga 15 minutes waiting period lang. So, paano natin magagawa ito? Anong procedure natin dyan? Dapat meron tayong tamang scheduling system. Okay? So, at the end of the day po, policies and procedures are tools that are used by supervisors, managers, and also you as physical therapists to maintain control and direction in the clinic or in the organization. Okay? So, not all policies are good policies. Effective policies must be clear, kasi para walang confusion, and it should be written in simple language para lahat naman naiintindihan, di ba? It should be accessible, it should be available to all staff members, kaya dapat meron kang manual for the policies na kahit saan, or kunyari nakalagay lang sa front desk, para if ever na gustong tingnan ng iyong staff, readily accessible siya. It should also be consistent, aligned with the goals of your clinic or the hospital or the organization. It is updated para it reflects current practice. Okay? Kasi kung outdated yung policy mo, most likely, there would be inefficiency. Diba? So, kunyari, ang documentation mo, using na una pang type of documentation na napakahaba. Okay, ngayon, as much as possible, we're using abbreviations. Okay, hindi tayo gumagamit ng makatang salita pag nagre-reporting or nagdo-document. Okay, so policies also must evolve with technology and evidence-based practice. So, recruitment and interview policy. This policy ensures that hiring is fair, systematic, and transparent. Okay? It will standardize who can apply for that position. Okay? How will they be evaluated? Who has the authority to hire? Okay? So, for example, okay, ang interview, it is not just for employers, di ba? It's a mutual evaluation. Kaya ka uma-attend ng isang interview, it's because, number one, from the employer's perspective, they are assessing your competence. Pero as an applicant, the interview itself also serves as an assessment of your workplace. Okay? Kaya ina-attendan mo ang isang interview kasi you wanna see saan ba yung work, ano ba yung trabahong ibibigay sa'yo. Okay? Kaya it's a two-way. It's a mutual evaluation nga. Ika nga. Okay? So for example, in a PT clinic, if you hire the wrong therapist, most likely, maapektuhan ang outcome ng patient care mo. Hindi sila makakapagbigay ng magandang treatment. At the same time, hindi mag-i-improve ang mga patients mo kasi mali-mali yung ginagawa. Okay? Or, nag-hire ka na hindi ka nag-screen ng tama. Okay? Hindi mo chinek kung alam ba niya yung mga ganitong skills na ginagawa sa clinic mo. Okay? Marunong ba siya mag-document? Okay? So, most likely, if you didn't properly screen for those individuals, okay, pwedeng ma-hire mo yung mga tao may poor manual skills, okay, or unsafe practices. For example, tinuruan mo mag-needle, pero ganun pa rin, iwanan yung needle sa katawan ng pasyente hanggang sa nakauwi na. Diba? Kaya, you have to remember, interview is a mutual evaluation. Okay? Napaka-importante nito. The next topic is pre-employment physical examination policy or the pre-employment policy. Okay? Alam naman natin that physical therapy is a physically demanding job. Diba? So, with this policy, this will ensure that the therapist is safe. Okay? Kaya niya mag-handle talaga ng patients physically. Okay? And at the same time, the safety of the patient. Okay? So, for example, ang na-hire mo ay isang PT na may severe back pain at merong uncontrolled hypertension. Okay? Mataas masyado ang BP lagi. May high blood. Tapos lagi masakit ang likod. Hinire mo. Eh, yung mga patients na dumadating sa'yo, most likely ay mga binubuhat. Kailangan ng manual therapy. So, the PT or your staff may not perform the needed expertise or skills na kailangan sa kanya. Okay? Kaya employment is also a conditional is conditional, okay, upon the physical fitness of your staff. Okay. Another policy is orientation, which helps new employees adjust quickly and safely to the workplace. So it answers, how do I function in this clinic? Okay? Kasi without the orientation, there would be confusion, there would be errors, and also safety risks. Okay? So, we have to have an orientation lagi po, especially sa first day ng ating mga staff. Kasi in this process or policy, they will learn what are the daily routines or activities na kailangan po nilang gawin from sa work po nila. Right? For example, yung documentation system ninyo. Okay, siya ba ay handwritten or meron kayong electronic health record sa tablets or sa computers na accessible? Okay? Nasaan ang mga emergency exits, sorry. Okay, magkano ang salary nila? Kailan sila sisweldohan? Paano nila makukuha ang sweldo nila? Okay? Ano ba yung job description nila? Okay? Their roles? They should be knowledgeable or they should be oriented on those things. Okay? And of course, they have to understand the patient flow within the clinic or the institution. Okay? In the probation period policy, kumbaga, this is the testing phase. Okay? During employment. Yung PT mo ba, kaya niya mag-perform talaga clinically? Nag-fit ba siya dun sa other members of the healthcare team? Okay? So, it protects both sides, itong probationary period. Hindi lang si employer yung pinaprotektahan, pero pati si employee. Okay? Kasi, ito, sa employer, titingnan niya yung competence talaga ng staff. While the staff or the employee, evaluate niya kung healthy ba yung workplace niya. Diba? For example, isang PT na naka-probationary period, the employer will assess if the PT can handle patients properly, accurate ba mag-document, and also the behavior and the attitude of the PT. So, hindi lahat po ng employment, once na na-hire ka, okay, automatic, ay regular ka na. So, this is the testing period or the trial period wherein, syempre, we assess the competence and the attitude of the staff. So, dapat kaya niyang mag-handle hindi lang physically but also yung communication with other healthcare members. So, the next is the performance evaluation policy. Okay? So, isa to sa mga pinaka-importanteng policy sa PT kasi nagpo-focus ito sa continuous improvement of our staff. Okay? So, kasama dito po ang when the evaluation is done, okay, sino magko-conduct ng evaluation, and what will happen after the evaluation. Okay? So, most people, you will think na, ay, evaluation, gigradean tayo. Titingnan yung mga pagkakamali natin. Eh, hindi po ganun. In reality, it's a tool for giving feedback, okay, for growth, and also for professional development. So, sa PT setting, ang performance evaluation, most of the time, it includes the clinical skills of the staff. Okay? Tama pa ba yung mga techniques, treatment, interventions, effective pa ba? Okay? For the patient outcomes, nagkakaroon ba ng improvement yung mga patient mo or ang tagal-tagal na sa'yo, wala pa rin improvement? Okay? Nakikipag-communicate ka ba sa patients, sa relatives nila, or pati sa mga co-workers mo? Nakikipag-communicate ka ba? Kasama yun po. And lastly would be documentation. Okay? Tinitingnan kung accurate ba yung documents mo, yung notes mo, Okay? Complete ba? Baka mamaya, paulit-ulit lang yung sinusulat mo sa notes mo. Okay? So, again, this performance evaluation will help, okay, not just the employer, but also the employee. Okay? Kasi once that the feedbacks are given, most likely, magkakaroon din siya ng improvement. Diba? Pag alam niya yung mga bagay na kailangan pa niyang improve, okay, then, mas magkakaroon siya ng growth. Now, let's talk about the leave policy, specifically the vacation and the sick leave. Ang vacation leave po, okay, it defines the vacation credits, accrual system, and the maximum allowed leave. So, in simple terms, it answers how much leave do I earn and how can the PT use it. Okay? So, this is important because PT is both physically and mentally exhausting. So, if ang PT ninyo, they do not take breaks, most likely they will build up fatigue and their performance will decrease. Okay? Sa sick leave, ganun din. There are paid sick days na pwede nilang gamitin. And what are the conditions for them to be able to use the sick leave? Okay? Very critical ito sa healthcare. Bakit? Hindi mo pwedeng papasukin ng isang PT or therapist na may sakit. Kasi paano kung may lagnat siya, may infection siya, makikipag-interact po siya with the patient. So most likely, there's risk of spreading the illness and reduced quality of care. Kaya dapat, okay, the sick leave, vacation leave, okay, will be properly given and well-known dapat sa ating mga staff. Okay? Kasi it will provide work-life balance, patient safety, and of course, fairness among other staffs. Okay? Dapat wala tayong favoritism. Sinong bibigyan natin ng sick leave? Sino yung papayagan nating mag-vacation? So, it is given by credit naman eh. So, for example, if so, 1 whole month, wala ka pong absent, so you are eligible for a 1-day vacation leave. May mga ganong type of policies na sineset minsan ang iba't ibang institution. Okay? Nakadepende naman yun sa admin. For the discipline policy, it will define who will administer the discipline and the process of corrective action. Okay? It emphasizes that discipline is focused on improvement, not punishment. Okay, tandaan po ninyo, ang mga disciplinary action is not a punishment or penalty. Okay? Sa healthcare, hindi lang sa healthcare, kahit sa ang setting, professionally, okay, the goal always is to correct the behavior and to improve the performance. Okay? Hindi po ito, again, punishment. Okay? So, for example, yung PT mo, hindi siya inconsistent in documentation. Tapos, lagi pang late. Okay? Late na mag-start ng mga PT session. Okay? Siyempre, dapat merong disciplinary action yun. Okay? Kaya, meron tayong mga policies, may mga standard processes tayo. Paano mo siya bibigyan ng corrective action or the disciplinary action? Diba? Number 1, una dapat verbal warning muna. Sumunod, written warning na. Okay? After na written warning at paulit-ulit pa rin niyang ginagawa, pwede na, depende sa organization or sa institution, pwedeng may suspension na. Okay? So, meron ganun dapat policy, hindi yung pag nagkaroon siya ng isang pagkakamali, suspended agad or terminated agad. Hindi po pwede yung ganun. Okay? If there's a disciplinary policy, okay, this ensures that there is fairness, consistency, and also accountability. Okay? So again, those disciplinary policy are guidance for improvement. Okay? So if there are mistakes, it will transform into learning. If there are poor behavior, then it will be transformed into professional growth. Okay? So, ang goal natin is, again, not to punish, not to give penalty, but to improve the performance and ensure patient safety. And lastly would be the termination policy. So, dito naman, for termination, you have to define ano ba yung mga conditions para ma-terminate siya. Ano yung magiging benefits niya after termination? Meron pa ba siyang final pay? Okay? Yung mga benefits niya, like the government benefits, would it still be processed? Okay? Kumbaga, in simpler terms, ano mangyayari sa staff member after they leave the organization. Okay? This is a very sensitive part of employment. Okay? Kasi ang termination, it can be a result of resignation, pwedeng nag-end na yung contract niya, or talagang na-terminate siya because of performance issues. Okay? So, kaya dapat meron tayong clear policy for termination para walang confusion, walang conflicts, and maiwasan natin na magkaroon ng mga legal problems. Diba? So, for example, sa PT, yung PT mo biglang nag-resign sa clinic. Okay? Ang questions dito, sinong magte-take over ng mga patients niya? Paano ma-endorse yung mga records? Kailan kaya ma-release yung final salary niya? Okay? Kaya meron dapat tayong clear termination process para meron tayong tamang turnover ng patient, proper endorsement. Okay? Meron kunyari, bibigyan natin siya ng 10 days para tapusin lahat ng documentations niya, mga notes niya. Okay? Makapag-clearance siya. If ever meron siyang mga advance salary na nakuha, for example, in-advance niya na yung salary niya, okay, pwede nating i-compute kung kasama pa dun sa final pay niya. May 13-month pa ba siya? Okay? So, kumbaga, it allows for a professional exit dun sa ating mga staff. Okay? So, hindi lang nito pinoprotektahan ang employee, okay, but also yung employer. Naiiwasan natin magkaroon ng disputes between the employee and the employer kasi this will be the guideline. Bakit na-terminate? Bakit na-end yung iyong employment with the company, the clinic, or the institution? So again, the termination policy should be organized, fair, and professional. So to summarize everything we've discussed about policies, policies define what should be done. They serve as rules, guidelines, and boundaries. They ensure patient safety, quality of care, legal protection, and organizational direction. So, in short, policies will guide our decisions. Okay? So, kahit na meron tayong mga good policies din, dapat meron din po tayong magandang procedures na i-implement. Okay? Hindi po enough na you know what to do. Diba? We also need to know how to do it correctly and consistently. Okay? So, our next topic would be the procedures itself. Okay? Ano yung mga existing procedures na usually ay nandoon po sa isang physical therapy administration?